What's up, everybody? Cigar Sherpa Laird Mayhew coming at you with a quick video here. Not a review, although I will be smoking one of my newfound go-to cigars. It is the Monte Cristo Ciudad de Musica mashup with Crown Heads. I did a review on it. You should check it out. Basically, what I wanted to do tonight was just go over a question that I get daily. Okay, I get daily. At least once a day, I get a tirade of questions, but one of them is, Laird, how or what is a good cigar for me to get? I've never smoked a cigar. I want to get into cigars, but there's so many of them, and I just don't know which one to pick. And that's not a real easy question to answer because I don't know your taste. Everybody, cigars are an acquired taste, much like beer. People that get into craft beers or wine or whiskeys, the first time I took a sip of wine, I thought it was disgusting, but now I love wine. Same thing with beer. Like I said, I'm not a big drinker anymore. I hardly ever drink, but when I first started drinking, I didn't like the taste of it. I kind of acquired the taste. Cigars were the same thing. When I started smoking cigars in 1997, I think the internet was just coming out. We were just like America Online message boards at the time. So it wasn't really a big platform. So I kind of just walked into a walk-in humidor here in North Carolina, and I just grabbed the cigar that I thought was going to make me look the coolest. And what I grabbed was a Robusto-sized, which is probably about a 5-inch by 52 ring gauge Maduro cigar. I didn't know what a Maduro was. I didn't know what a Robusto was. I just thought it looked cool. I took it out. I butchered it up because I couldn't get the cap off. I tried biting it off like I'd seen in the cartoons. And anyway, I made it through that cigar. And I was kind of hooked after that, even though it made me dizzy. I was swallowing it. I was inhaling it. I just pushed through, and then I acquired my taste. So what I generally ask people when they ask me what is a good first cigar for them, without knowing them, I always ask them if they drink coffee. Okay, most people drink coffee, and if you don't drink coffee, well, I feel sorry for you because coffee is awesome. Cigars and coffee have similar notes and tones to them. They're both an organic product. They both, just like they're both vegetable. But they have, they're both charred, like not charred, but cooked. Coffee beans are roasted, tobacco is burnt. They just have similar notes. Every cigar you smoke is going to have a coffee note to it. Every good cigar that you smoke is going to have a coffee note. So that's where I start. Do you drink coffee, and how do you drink your coffee? Okay, so if you say, Laird, I drink my coffee, I drink it with cream and sugar. I like my coffee sweet, like a lot of people do. Coffee is very good that way. At that point, I would probably know that your flavor profile is sweet and light. Okay, you like the cream in there to lighten it up, and you like some sweetness. So I'm going to automatically refer you to a light-bodied cigar. Okay, now if you drink your coffee with sugar but no cream, I'm going to steer you to the light to medium, the more medium side of light and medium cigar. If you, like me, and you drink your coffee black and strong and oily and, you just like it really strong and rich, black coffee's got a bitter taste to it. And you're used to acquire that taste for black coffee. You acquire notes that are similar to cigars. So then I'm going to put you on the heavier side of medium. Okay, I'm not going to ever put anybody on a full strength cigar when they're not ready for it. Although, when I first learned to ride a motorcycle, I started off on a 250, and then I went to a 500, and then I went and got me a Harley Davidson. And by the time I got the Harley, I was just thinking, I should have just got on this Harley Davidson first and just rode. So this is all going to be preference, up to you. You do what you want. This is just how I guide people in getting into cigars. So what you're going to want to do if you're in the light-bodied cigars, if you like your coffee with cream and sugar, you want to get a light-bodied cigar. So what you're going to look for is a Connecticut shade wrapper. Okay, Connecticut shade wrappers, they lend themselves to that nutty, creamy, light-bodied. And typically cigars that are wrapped and dressed in a Connecticut shade wrapper are going to be light-bodied cigars. That's not always the case. I know there's somebody shaking their head and doing this. It's not always the case, because you take that Hoya de Nicaragua, Connecticut, and stick that thing in your mouth, think you're going to get a light-body smoke, you got another thing coming. But most of the time, when you get a cigar dressed in a Connecticut shade wrapper, you're going to get a nice light to medium cigar, and you're going to get notes of toasted nuts. You're going to get creamy. You may get a little sweet tobacco. It's going to be more like the coffee that you drink. Okay, if you like your coffee semi-sweet, you put sugar. What? You don't put like a lot of cream in there. Okay, so you don't like it too sweet, like caramel candy. Okay, then you want to kind of go with a medium-bodied cigar. And a good rule of thumb there, and again, this is not always the case, is to look for what we call, or what they call in the industry, an EMS wrapper, which means an English market shade selection, English market selection wrapper. And they're about like the Connecticut shade. They're just a little darker. They're like a more natural brown, leathery color. And I don't even know what kind of cigar that is. Somebody gave that to me. It smells really good. Anyway, that's going to give you more medium body notes. You still can get some creamy and some nuttiness in there, but you might get a little bit more spice. It won't be heavy spice, because of course that's going to be in your full-bodied cigars. But now, don't get me wrong, there are full-bodied cigars that have an English market selection or EMS wrapper. But generally you're going to get one. It's going to be medium spice. It ain't going to be a whole lot of black pepper. It's going to be medium body. It's going to be more fitting in with the coffee that you drink. Now, if you want a more full-bodied cigar, or you drink your coffee black, you are going to want to go for the medium to full. But probably stay away from the full-bodied cigars until you develop a tolerance, a palate. This is a good cigar. This would be an example of a cigar that I would put you onto if you were in the medium range. And I did a review on that. So it is the Ciudad de Musica by Monte Cristo. It's a mashup between Monte Cristo or Altitis that makes Monte Cristo and Crowned Heads out of Nashville. Go check that review out. So on the heavier side of cigars, you want to look for what they call a Maduro wrapper. Okay, this is a Romeo 505 in Maduro Nicaraguan Puro cigar. Supposed to be a more full-bodied cigar than what Romeo typically puts out. This would be a good cigar for you if you drink your coffee black and you're just starting off, because it did not meet the expectations of what they were going for. Aside from that, you're going to have the Oscuro wrapper, which is damn near black. Okay, now the darker wrapper does not always mean it's going to be strong. Okay, it's just going to be more deep flavored. It has like a sweetness to it. The only reason why I use the coffee scale is because, like I said, the notes are very similar, and it's going to help you guide. So here are a list of brand names. Since if you walk into a humidor, there's 1,000 different cigars, or there's hundreds of brands and different sizes. So what I'm going to suggest is you go into your humidor if it's your first cigar and get a Robusto size cigar, which is going to be this size right here. It's about 5.5 inches. Sometimes it's 5 inches. The ring gauge is going to be a 50 to sometimes 55, but generally they're about 52. Good size, good 45-minute smoke. To me, it's the perfect size cigar. Okay, so if you like your coffee with cream and sugar and you like it sweet, you're going to go with the lighter. I am going to recommend on the moderate price range that you look for a Connecticut Camacho, Connecticut. Okay, I don't know if that comes in a Robusto or not. Get the Churchill. It's a nice, easy, light smoke. It's a very soft cigar, very rich cigar. It's good for beginners. Matter of fact, my daughter Reagan smoked one for the first time. She's 21 years old. She smoked one for the first time last week. And even after she got about an inch into it, she was picking up some of the nutty vanilla notes. Also, this cigar here, this is the Romeo and Juliet, pronounced in the cigar world Romeo y Julieta. I say Romeo and Juliet. This is the Reserve Real. This is a very good cigar. I'm not a big light to medium bodied cigar guy, more on the medium to the high side, but I really enjoy this cigar. It's great with a good cup of coffee. It's creamy. It's nutty. It's got hints of vanilla. I won't even review it, but try it out. Also, this one here, this would be the Alec Bradley American Classic. This would be good for a beginner in the light to medium, or even in the medium. Okay, so I'm going to come back to this one. On the higher end, okay, some guys, that's another thing about personality. I know some guys, they're just not happy unless they have the best of anything. I got a friend of mine, took him fishing for the first time. I told him, go to Walmart, get you a fishing pole, get you some lures, nothing fancy. It's your first time, you don't know if you're going to like it. What did he do? He goes to Field and Stream. He drops like $1,000 on this high-speed bait casting reel, which he doesn't even know how to use because it was the flashiest stuff. So he just felt good about himself. All of his gear was brand new, just real, we call bougie or bourgeois. So if you're that type of person and you don't want to go for the Now these cigars are $7, $8 a piece, $5, $6 a piece for the smaller one. The Camacho is about $8. But if you really want to go a little higher end, then I would say go with the Ashton, the classic Ashton white label. Very, very good cigar. It was one of my favorites when I first started. Or if you wanted to go even higher end, go to the Davidoff section. Okay, you want to spend $25, $30 on a good creamy nutty cigar, go with Davidoff. Stepping up to the middle of medium, if you fall in the medium range, I suggest you go and you look for the Camacho Corojo. It's the Camacho with the red band. You can't mix it. Corojo. Of course, that's spelled with a J and not an H. The Arturo Fuente series, the Chateau Fuentes, those are good medium-bodied smokes. They have great flavor, very famous. And also on the light-bodied side, Brickhouse, Connecticut. It's a go-to for beginners. On the medium side, I would say the Brickhouse Maduro. Even though it's a Maduro and it's supposed to be a fuller-bodied cigar, it's really not. It's very bready. It's very brown, sugary almost. It's a good beginner medium-bodied stick. If you want to go on the high end, again, in the same range, go with, I suggest the Monte Cristo Platinum or the Monte Cristo Pilotico, okay, Politico. Good cigar, good medium-bodied cigar. It's got a lot of good flavor notes. It's pricey, so you'll look really cool in front of your friends. Okay, on the full side, if you're a black coffee drinker and you've never smoked a cigar before, I'm going to put you into the medium to full. I'm not going to put you too high up there. So I'm going to, again, throw in the Brickhouse Maduro. Good cigar to start with. The La Gloria Cubana Esteli, okay? That is a good in between medium and full. Now, La Gloria Cubana can be as full as they come, and that is one of my go-to cigars. It's in my arsenal. I smoke at least one every day, whether it be the natural or the Maduro Wavell Classic. I smoke at least one a day, sometimes two. I mean, that's, you go on my humidor, and that's what I've got. The 2012 Maduro by Oscar, full-bodied smoke, but it's very, very mellow. Again, additionally to that would be the EP Carrillo Encore, which was #1 cigar for 2018, according to Cigar Aficionado. If you want to go on the high end you would go with the Davidoff Late Hour Maduro. Great cigar, one of my favorites. I've got a few of them in my humidor, and I'm just waiting to smoke them. And, you know, sometimes you just got to break out your good stuff. And here shortly, I'm going to be breaking that out. So there you go. So remember, the light wrapper, the medium wrapper, which would be the EMS, the light brown wrapper, and the dark wrapper. That is just a good beginner's guide. It's not going to win every time. You're going to pick up Connecticut cigars sometimes that are full-bodied, and sometimes it just bees like that. But that is a good beginner's guide. So get on out there, start smoking, and while you're smoking them, start trying to pick up on the notes. And my next video will roll into how to smoke a cigar. And I'm out.